and they're calling it micro retirement, which is taking extended breaks throughout your career instead of waiting until you're like 65 to start enjoying your life. For some people, it's a choice. Work 3 years, take a year off, rinse and repeat. But for many, micro retirement isn't planned, it's forced. And this is what I mean, because I'm in the it's been forced and now I embrace it. But layoffs happen, right? Companies restructure, and suddenly you find yourself in an unexpected break from work. um, I've been laid off multiple times, and there have been times like the first time you're always like, "Oh my gosh, I need to do this," and all you're doing is like obsessively trying to find a job. And then as you become a pro at being laid off, like I don't know, I shouldn't say it that way. It's a serious situation, but as you start planning now, you go into work with a different mentality, your next job, right? Now you're saving more. Now you are more like know about negotiating your severance and setting yourself up this way. And I've used these opportunities to take mini breaks. I take anywhere from 6 to 12 months. And this was before I started my business, but I would take 6 to 12 months between a layoff and do like a micro retirement, right? But the thing is with this, and this sounds really cool, right? Okay, of course, you want to work for a few years and then take a little break and just do whatever. I called it my flailing year the last time that I did it. And it's how I came up with the business that I run now. But is it really something that is sustainable long term? Are you just setting yourself up to work forever? Because as you do this, now you're using your savings, you're probably using your retirement money at some point because, I mean, we can plan, I'm gonna take 5 months off. That doesn't mean when you decide to get a job, you're going to get a job, right? We all know how this works. So, are you actually just setting yourself up to never retire and work for the rest of your life? Because, I mean, most of us taking these breaks don't have generational wealth, and it's not just like
Mm.
this fun thing that we're doing. So, is micro retirement really a fix for burnout, like people are saying? Or is it just our way of making lifelong work, like accepting, look, we're not going to retire because in most countries it's just not a thing. We're going to work forever, and this is how we're going to do it. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, really interesting points. I mean, this idea dates back. In the article, it kind of mentions it. It dates back to quite an infamous book called "The 4 Hour Work Week" by Tim Ferriss. Did you read it when it came
I
out at
did
the
not
time?
read it, but I've heard of it and read
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
cliff notes.
And the whole idea is that his proposition in the book was you could do 4 hours work a week, spend the rest of the time flitting around the world and learning tango and all kinds of strange things. I think the interesting thing is when he wrote the book and he took his little micro retirements, he actually was running his own business and someone was running it for him. So there's that aspect to it. So the concept is a great one. The concept is you work all your life until you kind of retire, and by that time you're too old to have fun or too old to do the things that you really want to do. And I think there's definitely something in that, but I just don't think it's something that kind of works in real life with real people. I think that the pressures of, as you say, savings and retirement savings and no income and all those things are kind of real, and people don't have control over where their next job's coming from and all that sort of stuff. So it's quite hard. That said, though, if you do have an opportunity where you've got some time that you should do something like this, then you kind of definitely should. And I think that again, in Europe, we get a lot more holiday than you do in the US and in other countries. And so I think there's a difference there as well, because, typically in the UK,